Well, hopefully my channel doesn't get taken down, but today, or maybe last night, the Florida Surgeon General Joseph Ladapo issued an advisory recommending that males aged 18 to 39, i.e. myself and others, not take the COVID-19 vaccine. This coming a couple of years, it seems, or maybe it's only been a year and a half or so, after everyone in American society was put under extreme pressure to get the jab. A lot of people buckled to that who didn't want to get it, either because they thought they'd lose their job or just because they had a lot of peer pressure or pressure from family members who said, I won't see you. I mean, I know that's certainly the case. I have some family members I haven't seen since January of 2020. And it's sad to think that, people are like that they think because, the news told them that their family members are dirty and that they're literally untouchable and that they can't be in the same room with them or else their life will be at risk. But despite those pressures, there's still a lot of us who have remained unjabbed, a lot of us who have gotten in trouble on YouTube and other platforms for discussing potential problems and complications of receiving the Fauci juice. But now, hopefully I won't get in trouble because this is an official government source. This is the Florida Surgeon General saying that the study that they conducted, that the state of Florida conducted, showed that there is an 84% increase in the incidence of cardiac-related death, i.e. like a heart attack, in the 28 days following the vaccination. So if I'm interpreting this correct, what that exact line means is that on any given, your chance of dying of a heart attack in the 28 days following vaccination is 84% higher than it would be on any other 28-day period in your life if you're between 18 and 39. Now, that might be a chance that some people are willing to take. They say, well, my chance of having a heart attack is pretty low anyway on any given 28-day period. And so, if I nearly double my risk of a heart attack for 28 days, well, I'm okay with that, with taking that risk. Some people, hey, go ahead. It's not like Florida has outlawed the vaccine. They're just saying, you know what? If you're in this age group and you're a male, you probably don't want to get it. And some countries, such as Denmark, have gone so far as to stop offering the vaccine to anyone under 50 of either gender. And from what I understand, this study that the state of Florida did not include children, because everything I've heard about these complications from the jabu, things are worse when you're under 18. It's the teen boys who are hit hardest by this, and over 18, still bad, but less so. So I do think that we're past jab mania in this country, and in large parts of the world. But this does help. This is still a good thing to see official government sources paving the way for those of us who have had issues the whole time, who have had concerns the whole time about everything that's gone on. This gives us some more breathing room to where people can't just dismiss us as crazy. But then again, as I said in, January, February, when the war in Ukraine started, I said the Wu flu is over. The pandemic is over. All that is behind us. It doesn't matter what we find out about, the jabs or anything else, or about the origins of the virus. It's out of the news cycle. Ukraine is what matters now. And so if you try and go back and talk to some of these crazy people about, hey, we were right about the vaccine or something like that, they're just going to say, what are you talking about? Vaccine? Ukraine is what matters now. How can you talk about the vaccine? Even though it's the very same people who told us to take the jab, that it was perfectly safe, that if you took the jab, you wouldn't get sick, you couldn't spread the virus. you couldn't carry the virus. All the same people who told us that are now the same people telling you, you got to care about Ukraine. Ukraine's border is the most important issue on this planet. We must defend Ukraine's border. All the same people telling you that Zelensky is a rock star, that he is worthy of a Nobel Peace Prize, are the same folks who wanted to give a Nobel Prize to Dr. Fauci, the guy who tortures beagles for fun. In essence, our situation hasn't changed. We've just moved on to a new narrative, to a new story, but or new circumstances, but it's fundamentally the same story. And in due time, Zelensky will go the way of Dr. Fauci. He will be put out to pasture. He may not even survive this war, to be honest. And everyone will forget about Ukraine and move on to the next thing. And then when we go back to them in a couple of years and say, hey, look at all this evidence, it turns out we were right about Ukraine, they're going to go, Ukraine? Who cares about Ukraine anymore? Just like the Kurds in Syria, oh my gosh, we have to save the Kurds. All of these things. You're only supposed to care about them in the moment when the media is telling you about them, and then as soon as the media moves on to a new story, you don't think about that, even if it's proven that everything that you were told about that story before was a lie. You don't think about it anymore. And so maybe for that reason, I'll get away with talking about this study that was conducted by the state of Florida. Maybe because YouTube doesn't care anymore about what you say, because what they care about now is Ukraine misinformation, not vaccine misinformation, which I've received a strike on this channel for vaccine misinformation. And actually, I think it was even within the last 90 days, even though the video was like a year old. I'm going to link directly to the state of Florida's website talking about this. Everything that I said is going to come from this page. And if YouTube has an issue with it, they should take it up with the Surgeon General, not with me. All I'm doing is talking about what the Surgeon General put out. And as a citizen of Florida, I think I have a right on social media. I think that it's pretty reasonable for me to talk about an advisory put out by the Surgeon General of my state. I mean, this advisory is going to affect millions of people in this state. So I think that it needs to be discussed. I think that people need to know that it exists. And yes, for those of us who have not taken our Fauci juice, I think it's okay for us to feel a little bit of vindication. Because in the end, I never really thought it was a massive deal one way or the other. It's not like it's a death sentence if you get it. If you do get it, you're probably going to be okay. But the point was that on net balance, you're worse off. And that's exactly what the Surgeon General said here. So with that said, hopefully this video does not get removed, but if it does, it'll still be on Rumble and BitChute. So I guess we can take solace in that. If I do get suspended, you can still follow me on Rumble and BitChute. I will upload there. I hope I don't get another strike, because I've got one or two already. So with that said, I will see you folks back here tomorrow.